Welcome students to the class of immunology. Today's topic is phagocytosis. There are a number of cells that participate in immune response. Some cells are phagocytic cells while the others are non-phagocytic cells. Phagocytic cells mainly include the polymorphonuclear lymphocytes, that is, the neutrophils and the eosinophils, along with the polymorphonuclear lymphocytes, the mononuclear lymphocytes, like the macrophages, also perform the function of phagocytosis. So let us start with the process of phagocytosis. The process of phagocytosis occurs in 7 steps. The first step of phagocytosis is chemotaxis and adherence of the microbe to the phagocytic cell. Second step is the ingestion of the microbe by the phagocytic cell. Third is the formation of the phagosome. The next step is the fusion of the phagosome with the lysosome to form the phagolysosome. Once the phagolysosome is formed, the next step is digestion of the ingested microorganism by enzymes within the phagolysosome. The sixth step is the formation of the residual body containing the indigestible material, and the last step is the discharge of the waste material. With the help of a figure, you can see the various different steps of phagocytosis in the macrophage. The first step is the chemotaxis, where the phagocytes are attracted towards the site of the antigen. Once the phagocytic cells arise at the site of the antigen, with the help of the toll-like receptors or the other receptors, that is, the complement receptors, the phagocytic cell will bind with the antigen. If the antigen is not coated with the opsonins, with the help of the toll-like receptors, that is the TLR, the phagocytic cell will bind with the antigen or the microorganism. But if the microorganism is coated with the opsonins, then the phagocytic cell will bind with the antigen with the help of the receptors for the complement components. Right? If antibody acts as the opsonin, then the macrophage or the phagocytic cell will bind with the antigen with the Fc receptors. Once the antigen is bound on the surface of the phagocytic cell, the second step is ingestion of the antigen, right, in which the vesicle is formed due to the extension of the pseudopodia. The two pseudopodia extend from the two sides of the pathogen and meet to form a vesicle, which is referred to as the phagosome. Once the phagosome is formed at the periphery of the phagocytic cell, the phagosome moves towards the center or towards the interior in the cytoplasm of the phagocytic cell. When the phagosome moves in the center of the phagocytic cell, it comes across with the lysosomes that are present in the cell. Lysosomes are the granules that contain the various different lytic enzymes and proteins which help in killing the antigen. when the lysosome fuses with the phagosome, a large complex called as the phagolysosome is formed. When the phagolysosome is formed, the contents of the lysosome are emptied in the phagosome, and the phagolysosome is the site where the enzymes that are released act on the antigen or the microorganism and help in the killing of the microorganism and the digestion of the microorganism. Once the action of digestion is completed, a residual body is formed, and this residual body is excreted out of the phagocytic cell. The process of excretion of the waste matter is opposite of the process of ingestion. Some of the ingested undigested material combines with the MHC molecules, which are expressed on the surface of the phagocytic cells so that the antigen can be presented to the T cells. I have another figure to explain the process of phagocytosis with the structure of the macrophage. So we'll study each step in detail, starting with the first step of phagocytosis, that is opsonization and attachment. The process of phagocytosis begins with the binding of opsonins, that is the complement factors or the antibody and or specific molecules on the pathogen surface, which are referred to as the pathogen associated molecular patterns, which bind to the cell surface receptors on the phagocytes. There are a number of receptors that are involved in the process of phagocytosis. Depending upon what is the opsonin that binds to the antigen, if a complement component like for example C3b or C4b binds to the antigen as an opsonin, then the complement receptors that are present on the phagocytic cells will bind with the antigen and help in the elimination of the antigen. But if the antibody is bound on the surface of the antigen, then the phagocytic cells will bind with the antigen that is coated with the antibody with the help of the Fc receptors that are present on the surface of the phagocytic cells. The second step is the engulfment or the ingestion of the antigen. Attachment of the microbes to the phagocyte results in some sort of a signal. The nature of the type of signal that is induced is still not understood clearly, but some signal is generated that triggers the ingestion of the microorganism. Ingestion involves encircling the target particle with the phagocytic membrane so that it eventually is taken inside the cytoplasm of the phagocyte, engulfed in a membrane vesicle which is referred to as the phagosome. This process requires ATP and is triggered by the attachment of the target to the phagocyte's cytoplasmic membrane. The next step is the formation of the phagolysosome. The phagolysosome containing the the phagosome containing the microorganism migrates into the cytoplasm and collides with a series of lysosomes forming the phagolysosome. When the membranes of the phagosome and the lysosome meet, the contents of the lysosome are discharged inside the phagosome, right, which includes the peroxidases, the lysozyme, the collagenase, lactoferrin, and toxic macromolecules and other compounds which help in killing the organism are released in the phagosome. The killing process which occurs inside the phagolysosome is confined to the phagolysosome, and therefore even if harmful enzymes are present in the phagolysosome, they do not affect the cytoplasm of the phagocytic cell. The next step is the intracellular killing and digestion. In the phagolysosome, after minutes of formation of the phagolysosome, the first detectable effect that is seen on the microorganism is the loss of ability of the microorganism to reproduce. In addition to this, inhibition of macromolecular synthesis occurs within the phagolysosome, and many of the pathogenic and non-pathogenic bacteria are killed within 10 to 30 minutes after ingestion. Different phagocytic cells use different mechanisms to kill the organism, as the contents of the phagocytic cells and the lysosomal constituents are different in the different phagocytes. Each type of phagocyte, it may be a neutrophil or a macrophage, has slightly different mixture of killing methods. The killing mechanism that phagocytes use can be divided into two different types, that is, the oxygen-dependent mechanism and the oxygen-independent mechanism. Here in this figure, you can see both the oxygen-dependent as well as the oxygen-independent mechanism which is used for killing the organism. The oxygen-dependent mechanism of killing the organism basically starts when the Fc receptors present on the phagocytic cells are bound with the Fc region of the antibody that is bound to the antigen. This binding of the Fc region of antibody to the Fc receptors causes an increase in the uptake of oxygen by the phagocytic cell, which is referred to as the respiratory burst. This influx of oxygen is used in a variety of different mechanisms to cause damage to the microbes that are present inside the phagolysosome. The most common theme is the formation of highly reactive small molecules that damage the biomolecules of the pathogen. Binding of these receptors activates an NADPH oxidase that reduces oxygen to form superoxide ion. The superoxide can further decay to hydroxide radical, or it may be converted into hydrogen peroxide by the action of the enzyme, that is superoxide dismutase. So during the respiratory burst, the first reaction that occurs is NADPH oxidase catalyzes the transfer of an electron from NADPH to molecular oxygen to form the superoxide ion, that is O2 minus. Activation of NADPH oxidase initiates the respiratory burst at the cell membrane, right, leading to the formation of a superoxide ion. The second step that occurs is the reaction that is catalyzed by the superoxide dismutase enzyme, which leads to the formation of hydrogen peroxide, that is H2O2. The third reaction that occurs is the reaction that is catalyzed by the enzyme myeloperoxidase, that is the formation of hypochlorous acid from hydrogen peroxide. The hypochlorous acid that is formed is a powerful toxin that destroys bacteria within seconds through the process of halogenation and the oxidation reaction. The fourth reaction is the formation of free hydroxyl radical, which is a highly toxic substance or radical that is produced. The fifth step is the activation of the nitric oxide synthase enzyme, which leads to the generation of nitric oxide. Nitric oxide that is formed rapidly reacts with the superoxide anion to generate peroxynitrite, which forms the additional reactive nitrogen intermediates. Right? So the reactive oxygen intermediates that are formed after the respiratory burst include the superoxide radical, that is O2 minus, the hydrogen peroxide, that is H2O2, the hydroxyl radical, that is OH with a single electron, the organic radicals, the organic peroxide radicals, hypochlorous acid, that is HOCl, singlet oxygen, that is 1O2, nitric oxide, that is NO. All these are the reactive oxygen intermediates that are formed, which help in the intracellular killing of the organisms. The second stage the second mechanism is the oxygen independent mechanism. The pH of the phagolysosome that is formed is very low. It is approximately up to pH 4 units, and this low pH itself is sufficient to inhibit the growth of many different types of microorganisms. The low pH of the phagolysosome also enhances the activity of enzymes like the lysozyme, the glyoxylases, the phospholipases, and the nucleases that are present in the phagosome that degrade the various different parts of the microbes. In addition to this, a variety of extremely basic proteins are present in the lysosomal granules, which strongly inhibit the growth of bacteria, yeast, and some of the viruses. A few molecules of these cationic proteins can damage membranes of the bacterial cell, causing death by unknown mechanisms. The phagolysosomes of neutrophils also contain lactoferrin, which is an extremely powerful iron chelating agent that has an ability to sequester most of the iron that is present, making the iron unavailable for the growth of organisms, thus inhibiting the growth of bacteria. The last step of phagocytosis is egestion and antigen presentation. After digestion, the unwanted material is expelled out from the phagocytic cell. The process of egestion is similar, or you can say the reverse of the process of phagocytosis or the process of ingestion. During the process of ingestion, the pseudopodia extend from both the sides of the antigen and fuse together to form a vesicle. While in the process of egestion, exactly the reverse thing happens, where the membrane of the phagocytic cell, it opens up and the contents of the vesicle are released towards the outside. Some of the unwanted material binds to the MHC molecules that are present in the phagocytic cells. These MHC molecules bound to the peptides or the unwanted material are expressed on the surface of the phagocytic cells so that they can be presented to the T cells. Depending upon the nature of the antigen, if the antigen is an intracellular antigen, it will be presented with class 1 MHC molecules expressed on the surface of all the nucleated cells to the T cytotoxic cells. But if the antigen is an exogenous antigen, then the exogenous antigen will bind to the class 2 MHC molecules and it will be expressed on the surface of the antigen presenting cells, where the T helper cell can recognize the antigenic peptide presented with class 2 MHC molecule and get activated against the antigen and induce a humoral immune response. So, I hope you have understood the process of phagocytosis. Thank you.